You know, Land Rover, they've lost their way. They used to be rough and tough and badass, a little tiny bit of luxury and a lot of off-road ability, and I no longer feel that that's what they are.
You know, dude, you may be correct about that, but I think it's because they're trying to go a little more urban, a little more city, and, you know, appeal to a different audience.
I don't think so. Allow me to show you what the hell I'm talking about, because it starts from the front, where, yeah, it looks a little Land Rover-ish, but it looks like a Ford Explorer from the side. I mean, look at the lines.
Yeah, it's a little round. It kind of looks like, oh, I don't know, this jelly bean maybe in my pocket. Delicious jelly beans.
Jelly bean.
But no, it's got some cool like throwback styling features from the old cars, right?
Okay, like what?
Well, so it's still got the bubble roof, or the little bump in the roof, right? And that's a nice touch.
So that used to be functional because you had people inside the vehicle whose heads were elevated, stadium-style seating, right?
Yeah.
So that's why that was there. It was actually for a reason. Now it's there because it looks cool.
Well, and also there's the sunroof.
It doesn't really make much of a difference, though. In this area here, now, didn't there used to be something here that was really cool?
There used to be these like safari or alpine. Style windows, but it's still like a throwback design touch with the glass right here.
But the glass isn't there.
Well, no, you can't really see through it.
That was kind of a cool discovery thing. Look, it used to be this square macho vehicle, right? It was purpose-built for off-roading, and you could also take your family with. It had big greenhouse. It had very flat sides to it. It's very easy to drive off-road. This is basically a crossover. Well, yeah, look at the back.
It's getting more urban, Nathan. That's what they got to do
to
keep up with the modern times. And this is another throwback piece. Look at this. It's got the asymmetrical trunk design. That's kind of cool.
Do you know that initially started because there was a reason they had to have it that way, and that was because there was a tire here. They had the windshield wiper over here.
Yeah.
The glass was built differently. Now it's done as a fashion accessory.
Yeah, but it's still a cool throwback touch. Okay, so this panel right here actually does most of the stuff you need to do to interact with both the second and third row seats. So to bring up the third row, you just pull up on each one of these buttons, and the second row folds forward to make a little bit of space, and then the two seats just fold right up. Pretty easy. All right, and then the second row obviously has a 60-40 split. So the left button takes care of the left 60%, and the right button takes care of the right 40%. Pretty easy. There's a few other buttons to take a look at. So this top one right here actually moves this little tailgate up and down. It just goes up to this 90-degree position, or it can lay flat like this. This button with the 4 actually will fold all of the seats down at once. So if you want to go completely flat, this will do all the 4 seats at once. And then these last 2 buttons are actually pretty interesting. These use the air suspension to raise or lower the back end of the vehicle. There's actually a few more seat controls if we go to the second row. This first set of buttons right here is actually a secondary set of controls for the third row. So if you want to operate the third row folding seats from the second row, you're welcome to do that here. There's actually a set of buttons on top of the seats to help you get into the third row. So one more thing with these, at least second row seats, you can actually adjust the recline on the back. There's a little switch down here so you can make them go forward or backwards. Dude, we're in basically a rolling computer here. There's so much technology in this thing.
That never makes me nervous, British vehicles with lots of computer tech.
There's a heads-up display, there's infotainment, a digital dashboard, massaging seats. How great is that? You even get a heated windshield with little wires in there that can just melt the snow right off your windshield.
Which is super cool once you get used to the coils being in the glass. You know that in Colorado, if this breaks, you have to pay $1,500 to replace it. Oof.
Okay, I'll give you that that's pretty expensive, but check out this fancy little thing right here, Nathan, huh?
Your arm?
No, my new wristband. It's not a watch, it's an activity key. And let me show you what it does. Can I borrow the key really quick?
Why would you use this?
Okay, say you're an active person, which you probably are if you own a Discovery, because you like discovering things.
Of course.
And you're going like, I don't know, surfing or something like that. So you're gonna...
A lot of guys who own these go surfing. Go on.
Yeah, sure. You don't want to have your phone or your car keys on your person when you're surfing because they might get wet, which would damage them. So here's what you do. You take your key and you just toss it in there, whatever. That's fine. Now here's the cool part. You come all the way back here and then you take this little guy and you hold it up and it locks the car. And now your stuff is safe.
And that's waterproof?
And this is waterproof. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
then, okay, now you come back after you've done your surfing.
Now you come back, you've been surfing all day, you've had a wonderful time, you're probably very tan like me. And then you press the little tailgate button and then go back up. Unlocks. You walk up to the front. Ready? 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 Whoa! It's unlocked again. Look at that.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
So when your keys are in there and the battery dies, how do you get in?
Well, ideally that doesn't happen.
I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down and wait for it. Wait for it. There you go, governor.
No.
There it is, almost. Oh wait, there's still 50s. Yeah, not a lot to go.
60, there it is. Well, you know, there's a certain noise coming out of the back of this thing. Let's maybe talk about the power plant a little bit.
Mike, what is that?
That, dude, is a 3-liter turbocharged diesel V6. It makes 254 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. Plus, it gets 23 mpg combined. 26 mpg on the highway, 635 miles of range if you're going at a pretty good clip on the highway.
It's got the 8-speed?
Got the 8-speed.
So this is basically the same type of engine that Ford is using with their F-150 diesel, right? I mean, it's very similar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How much does it tow?
Well, you see, that's kind of the weird part. This diesel tows 7,716 pounds, but if you get the V6 gas engine, you can tow 8,201 pounds.
In what universe does that make any sense?
Yeah, that's really strange.
You gotta admit.
Usually the diesel tows more, but for whatever reason, in this Discovery, it's actually the gas engine that tows more.
Now, I know you have a really good range with this vehicle, and I know you have really good economy. I mean, what is it, like 3 or 4 miles per gallon better?
5 miles per gallon better. This gets 23. That's like really good, actually.
Considering the size of the vehicle, that's not too bad.
SUV,
yeah. Let's go back to that towing again. So you're saying that the diesel doesn't tow as much as the gas?
No, like 500 pounds less than the gas.
And you wonder why there was a revolution against Britain.
Yeah, but you know, who knows?
This vehicle does not feel like an off-road badass tough vehicle to me. I don't feel like I'm in a truck right now in any way.
No, it feels very SUV-like, very crossover-like.
Very car-like. It feels like a wagon.
It's very comfortable though. And dude, they still have these little adjustable armrests that they've had for like forever in Land Rover products.
That might be the only connection I possibly see other than the badge going back to the original Discovery.
Just that.
Just that.
Let's call the ride the good.
It's damn good.
The ride is amazing.
Just fantastic.
We're literally on 4 clouds of air, one at each corner, because this has the adjustable air suspension.
The bad?
Yeah.
The bad.
Oh god. Yeah, this infotainment system is pretty miserable, isn't it? This is like the same infotainment that comes in basically every Jaguar Land Rover product that comes out today. And there's just not a lot you can love about it. We take a look up behind us here. There's a sunroof here, and the 3rd row gets its own sunroof, but the people in the 2nd row have no sunroof at all. What's
because
up with
that is steerage, alright?
I mean, it's a quote panoramic sunroof
Doesn't make any sense.
that gives panoramas for the front and 3rd row seats, but not the middle row.
Land Rover is an off-road company. All this is not representative of what they primarily are. They're a company that takes every vehicle they build and says, you can take this to pretty much any continent, anywhere in the world, and drive well.
You're right. You're right. But they still have given this Discovery plenty of off-road goodies. It's all kind of hidden away down here, but you can still do a lot of off-roading.
Seriously?
It's got a center and a rear locking diff.
Yep.
It's got air suspension that can bring the ground clearance up to 11.1 inches, which is pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
It can forward water up to 33.5 inches. That's like 3 feet of water you can drive through. That's pretty amazing.
There are some issues that you're not really seeing, and that is when you have air suspension with a vehicle like this and you're at your maximum height, you lose articulation. Okay, it's a 4-wheel independent vehicle. Basically, this is a car.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're way off the ground, and you're stiff, and you're not articulating. Okay, your tires are not making that contact that you want them to make.
Okay, yeah.
That's the first thing. Second thing is, yes, adjustable suspension, totally awesome to have. Something that can and often does go wrong, because let's face it, what if you are stuck? What if you're stuck? What if the front end goes up and the rear end doesn't go up? Tell you what, don't even worry about that. Let's worry about this. This comes standard. This is not what I call an off-road package, and this is standard, okay? These wheels are not for off-roading. They're for being damaged. These tires cannot really go air down. I mean, how do you air down that?
Well, you don't really.
You don't really.
You don't really.
I know these guys want urban. I get it.
Yeah, this is like the Beverly Hills wheel. Right?
Yeah, it's bling, but it's
yeah.
not the type of bling you need when you go off-road. And that's where I'm coming back to. They've lost all of their tradition.
Well, how much does it cost?
67,000 and change. That's not bad.
That's the base price. We priced it out online. We put all the options that this one has on it. It's like pushing 80 grand.
Damn!
Yeah, it's an expensive beast. It could use some more off-road bits, but I think overall I'm actually a big fan of it. For the Fast Lane Car, I'm Michael Curtis.
And I'm Nathan.
We'll see you guys next time. Please be sure to come back to tflcar.com.
109? Do you think it's actually 109 outside?
It hasn't moved from 109.
Usually it cools off a little, right?
Yeah, but this is also British.
Yeah, so 95 feels like 109? Yeah.
My God, it's just like being back in the pool.